beautiful sunny day. So before church, I just wanted to go show you what we did yesterday. But look, a branch had broken on one of our oldest 11-year-old Nanking cherry bushes. And what I wanted to do was show you this beautiful pink. I put it in water and it's going to bloom right here at the entrance of our food forest. So let's go outside and show you what we were able to do, hoping to finish this week, but it's supposed to rain and snow Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so we need help. We've got the straw. Oh, it was the scariest thing. I should have taken a picture. My little tiny trailer that's over there under the new tarp. Literally, Jerry, our farmer, says, put 4 more, you can take 16. I'm like, but that's so top heavy, and this isn't a big trailer, and he talked me into it, and then they didn't put it on evenly, so it was all leaning, and I was watching on the driver's side, and as it was going back and forth, I was so scared. I took all these back roads from Spanish Fork through Springville, Provo, all the old State Street back to 900 East to University to here, and I was so afraid. I kept praying and saying, God, please help me get this home safely and don't let us tip over. Here's the 7 hours of putting down wood chips on my pathways, and thank you, the 9 people, some were kids, that came to help out, and we were able to do that. But look, we got some straw ready, so when it does warm up, it won't evaporate what little moisture we've been getting this year. So that's what we did yesterday along with our class, and I think Toe enjoyed learning exactly what she's going to be doing with her design once she gets it done on her property. But isn't it beautiful with the contrast of the beautiful pine wood chips? And yes, she asked us as well, everybody thinks that we don't want to use acidic pine wood in wood chips. Yes, we do, including the needles, because our soil is so alkaline here in Utah that having pine is perfect. And so you can see the contrast in color between the pine, beautiful wood chips, and our wonderful straw beds that now are mulched heavily. And today, look at this, it's 50 degrees. 50 degrees today. It's beautiful, and we didn't mind putting a whole bunch of the pine needles. You see, it's really beautiful. So, just wanted to give you a little close-up of how gorgeous it is with the wood chip pathways and fresh straw. We are so grateful for getting these, but boy, my low back hurts so bad. We're going to add some more straw here. We had to quit. It was so dark last night at 8. But that is wormwood. Isn't that beautiful? Coming back from last year. It's really neat. And we've got our waterways down and around, and our dwarfed mulberry there, our beautiful fig that'll come back right there. We love our fig. And we've got onions coming up everywhere under the snow that's melting quickly. But these wood chips are so beautiful to make pathways. We just love it. And we still have our water. It iced a little over last night. It was pretty darn cold, but the wonderful pumps are working, and the watercress is in there, and then our moss that we found in our gutters in the back, and I transplanted here. So that was wonderful. But we'll be doing the rest of the food forest here with straw, so call 801-808-4424. And because now Facebook is going to delete our live videos like this after 30 days, we really could use a volunteer that could download them for us and back them up onto an external hard drive so we don't lose them. It'll be really time consuming too, because then we have to repost them. Hopefully they won't start deleting all the old live ones just for the past month and forward, because then there's no way we can download 10 years of live videos. And hopefully they won't remove other videos we film ourselves and then upload. But I like to have you guys being able to tune in and see the food forest like this. But we wanted to show you the work that we did with straw and wood chip pathways, 11th year in a row in Utah Valley Permaculture Classroom Gardens and Greenhouse, 801-808-4424. We have 2 courses going on right now, Wednesday and Thursday nights. The new one is on Wednesday. Our other families are finishing with their 3-acre farms in Idaho and northern Utah. We just really love showing you, so call and take tours, come and take workshops. By the way, this month we'll be doing cuttings before things bloom, so if you want to come and join us and do cuttings, we can do that. We always do them in March. Hopefully the blossoms will not open. We're looking at the Nanking cherry outside and it looks good. Let's go look at our apricot. The only ones that have bloomed are the yellow cornelian cherry blossoms, but they never have a problem. They always bloom early. You can see we got all the wood chip pathways down. It's beautiful wood chip here. And we're looking at our blossoms. They're bulging. That's the all-in-one sweet almond there. They're starting to bulge, and then we're gonna have snow this week, so please, when it's warm right now, don't open up all-in-one sweet almond, okay? Please don't open up. Let's look at that. We don't want you opening up and then freezing. The currants aren't opening. Let's go look at the apricot. Of course, the pears and apples are much later, but see the apricot, you can see the color on the blossoms. So they are bulging and do want to open up. It's really not good. We don't want them opening early. Let's try zoom in so you can see the color. Come on, of the blossom there. I wish I could get, there it is. So you can see that pink on the apricot. All those blossoms are wanting to open. And we don't want that because then we're going to have the snow. Heavy, cold, wet slush, and it gets down into the 20s at night. So if these were to open while it's warm right now, then they cloud seed for their storms they're bringing in next end of the week. Then that could be a problem for the blossoms, could freeze. But let's go show you the blossoms of the cornelian cherry. The bush cherry blooms later, but look at the yellow, gorgeous yellow blossoms. That's the yellow cornelian cherry right there. And every year since we first started 11 years ago, I've been so worried about these little blossoms freezing. You see, aren't they gorgeous? But we've never had a problem. They bloom the earliest in the food forest, and then they produce the latest in the summer, and we always get fruit. You're a hardy, beautiful bush, yellow cornelian. I wish, because they told us at the nursery we got it from, along with the red one over here, which is also blooming right there. They told us that these would be 6 by 6 by 6. Well, it's 10 years old, and it's not. Had we known that it wasn't going to be a 6 by 6 bush, we would have put a whole bunch more right through here. A whole bunch on this side of yellow, a whole bunch on that side of red. But they tell us things that aren't true sometimes at nurseries. Maybe they just don't know. So we would love to get some more cornelian cherry. I've tried doing cuttings, haven't succeeded yet. I've tried pits to stratify. So if we can ever find more yellow and red cornelian cherry, they are delicious. We'd love to add some more in the food forest. Little Nanking under here, of course, not bulging yet because it's getting more shade under the chokecherry here. That's a chokecherry, that's the hawthorn berry, and we're waiting for beautiful elderberries who bloom much later. We need help also. 2 strong guys could come. Hello, Dove. The neighbor's fence fell over on our bamboo wall here, and it fell on top of this apple tree. So we need help pushing it back. We were able to put the neighbor's fence back up with posts, but it really pushed the bamboo. I hate to have to cut it, but maybe we can just cut it back. But then we lose the shade and the wind breaking protection right there. So maybe if we can just tie it back real good. Our blackberries, the thorny blackberry that loves to go through it as a trellis, is going along the fence line. We love that. And so we'd push that back, but we'll put heavy duty leather gloves to push the bamboo back. And you can see the beautiful pathways around the basins of our trees here. We've added more mulch, but we need to add more. You can see the bare soil. That's why we'd love tomorrow, if anybody can come, Monday, Wednesday, before the big storm starts on Thursday, we'd like to put the rest of the straw down and at least a foot deep around our plants on these beds. So that would be wonderful. We've got the chips down. Oh, the deer have come in and enjoyed it. We don't mind that. We don't mind. They don't eat any of the berries. They eat the fruit that falls on the ground. We don't want that. And so it's really wonderful to have the deer come in and just graze the new tender ends of the bushes, and they clear a pathway for us. So we actually like it. But you can see they've got little prints in there. We really need to cover with straw that we just picked up yesterday. And again, thank you, God, for protecting me driving 16 bales. We couldn't find anyone that had trucks to help us. And our beekeeper surprised us, told us that he didn't have his truck anymore. He sold all his beehives, hundreds. And but we're going to buy, because our hive, I think, did pass away. We're going to buy a nuke for $150 from him. In April, he said he could get us one. But we're just showing you that we're worried about the blossoms and the cold. And we need help putting straw down to protect the soil from drying up, because any day it's going to be super warm. It always just starts getting warm fast. So thanks for watching Utah Valley Permaculture Classroom Gardens. Call us at 801-808-4424 if you'd like. Look at the view from here. If you'd like to come to the food forest and help out tomorrow, put straw down in the afternoon from 1 to 5. We'll be here doing some more of it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath.